This just went up tonight. So
and the poles aren't in the way either.
yeah, a little bit. Apparently NBN's coming, and that's why I'm sort of all scooched into the corner. Yeah, they asked me to leave room for him, and that's why they take the top line view. I know it's not ideal, you know, it's a map. But,
That's right.
Sort of the best I could do with the space I got. So I just was bullshit. So you're welcome to stand.
Yeah, no, that's
I
perfect.
think it's especially being around, you don't see as much. So
Yeah. I'll be trying to really go with this.
this is a lot better now. So
Yeah.
if it was just us, I could just plonk the whole time.
And we can stand up here like before. We sort of bit.
Yeah, it was too crowded.
Yeah. And the benches are covered, so it's sort of we're not like I felt like last year we're right over the bloody coaching blocks. They put some money in.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they put the whole views to the bleachers. The fence is new. They put a lot of stuff there.
And the pitch looks really good too.
Yeah, it does.
Looks great.
The lights are really tough.
Yeah.
We make do.
Yeah, exactly.
The camera can work it out.
Test, test, test. I think it was just good having someone there in case we needed it. We had an injury early, so.
We remember that. Getting used to being around those guys.
Yeah. Even Blake was there, he played like but like he played really well. So you just see the difference between playing with older ones. Yes.
I'm so happy with the heads up.
And it was just
Working the whole time.
people who know where to play and just.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Cook Square Park for this round 7 clash FFA Cup. Hamilton Olympic versus the Maitland Magpies. Northern New South Wales spectators, players, team officials, club officials are their obligation to strictly obey the FFA Spectator Code of Behaviour and Code of Conduct. Abuse and harassment of match officials contravenes FFA regulation and will not be permitted. This type is damaging to the sport's reputation.
Yep, let's do it.
Abuse and harassment of match officials contravenes.
Good evening and welcome to Cook Square Park in Maitland for the final round of the FFA Cup qualifying in northern New South Wales. Tonight we'll witness history as either Maitland or Hamilton will qualify for the round of 32 of the FFA Cup for the very first time. And both Maitland and Hamilton know what it's like to reach round 7 of the Cup, to be so close to representing the region on the national stage. This is Olympics' third appearance in the final round in 4 seasons, and their second consecutive under coach Pete McGuinness, the man who replaced current Maitland mentor Michael Balch at Hamilton last year. And as fate would have it, here they are meeting in one of the biggest matches in the history of both of their clubs. For Maitland, they were here 2 years ago and were only just nudged out of the competition by Edgeworth, but that was away from the comforts of home. Just a month ago, it was Olympic who thumped Maitland 4-0 in their best performance of the season, but since then the Magpies have soared, winning 4 consecutive matches and are building momentum, and there really isn't much between these two sides. So that's why nights like these are so special. Awaiting the winner is an opportunity to put themselves in the shop front of Australian football, while for the loser, it's another year of wondering whether they'll ever get that chance. Quickly, a chance to look at the team news for Maitland. Magpies coach Michael Balch makes 2 changes from the team who defeated Boambi 7-2 on Saturday. Carl Thornton is back from illness, replacing Grant Brown in the starting side, while Ryan Clark is promoted with Sean Pratt now overseas. Liam Thornton needed stitches for an eye gash received in Saturday's victory, but he has recovered in time for tonight's match to slot into Maitland's backline. 2 changes for Hamilton as well. They thumped Bangalore 10-1 on Saturday, but coach Peter McGuinness makes those 2 changes. Tyler Warren back in goals, replacing Jez Murray, while Scott Pettit, he scored in his last 3 matches here at Cook Square Park. He replaces Shinichi Kawachi, who drops back to the bench. Currently in Maitland, it's 14 degrees, no wind to speak of after a very warm winter's day. Temperatures in the mid-20s throughout the middle of this Tuesday. Referee for tonight's match is Stephen Laurie. He's on the 4th official panel for the Hyundai A-League. And it will be Maitland to get us underway, running from right to left off screen in this opening 45 minutes.
Alex Bosanowski.
Joel Wood with it in the centre circle. He's had round of 32 experience before.
Simon Rutherford
and then there were 4. Tonight will be a step closer to knowing the makeup of the round of 32 in northern New South Wales, and it's a very good evening to northern New South Wales as Liam Bentley. Liam, can Maitland put their disappointing defeat to Hamilton behind them?
Look, it's cup football, and that's exactly what the Maitland dressing room would be saying, I imagine. Don't worry about what's happened in the league. They've got 90 minutes between here and being on the national stage, so they've got the chance to do it, and I tell you, if they get through to the national stage here, that defeat a few weeks back will seem like a distant memory.
Oh, exactly, it won't matter. Here's the ball in towards Joel Wood, who is man of the match in Maitland's win over Boambi on Saturday. Clearance is scuffed over the sideline. Does the job, though. It's been so even, the head-to-heads between these two sides in recent years. The last 3 matches between them have gone each way. Hamilton winning that match 4-0 in round 9 in the NPL this year, a draw in round 18 last year, and Maitland winning in round 7, 3-2 in 2018. So
really. I think this one's going to be so tight. Here's Joel Wood getting up and winning the ball in the air. He will be key for them tonight. Ryan Clark. A touch from the back line. Now Carl Thornton, who's back from illness, to his brother Liam, who needed stitches for that eye gash. You can see the head bandage. Hamilton trying to find some space. Reece Pettit laying that ball forward to Kent Harrison. And Liam, what an outstanding run of form that young man is on. He's come to Hamilton at the start of the season, or a few rounds into the season, from the Jets youth. He's scored in 6 consecutive matches now.
That is a phenomenal rate as well, and not just 1 goal in every match as well. He's 10 goals in those 6 consecutive matches.
Yep, 10 in his last 6.
Fantastic signing for Hamilton Olympic.
Cody Lucas doing the defensive duties for Hamilton. He's going to have to be on his toes. Ryan Clark down that right flank for the Magpies. We know of his prowess. Scored in the win over Boambi as well. Looks to try and find some space. That one straight into the arms of Tyler Warren. 2 sides who have been to round 7 of the FFA Cup before. Hamilton twice before. Knocked out by Lambton in 2016. And then last year by Broadmeadow Magic. And Maitland, they were here the year in between, 2017. They went down 1-0 to Edgeworth in a really tight match that particular night at Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. It's Hamilton in possession. Cody Lucas trying to pick the pass. And he finds Ken Harrison, full of confidence. And now Pappas trying to pick the pass between the lines and finds Scott Pettit. Marcus Duncan wins the ball back for Olympic. Rolls into the path of Pettit, who cuts it across goal, and it's in the back of the net off Matt Trott. And Scott Pettit's golden goal-scoring run at Cook Square Park continues. That's goals in 4 consecutive matches for him, an Olympic lead.
Well, you called it, Ben. You said he had a punch on for scoring here at Cook Square Park, and I think even he'll admit he was a bit fortunate with that shot. That was probably a low, hard cross. But just get it in the mixer and try and get a deflection or a touch in, and that's exactly what they've done in early blood to Hamilton.
Just incredible. So 2 in his last 2 matches here with Broadmeadow Magic, and now in his last 2 with Olympic, he scored. Scott Pettit, and he'll want to continue that. He missed out playing in the match against Bangalore on the weekend, but he's back, and he's back on the score sheet. And what a start for the visitors, and that one really has stunned the home fans at Maitland. Not the start they were after.
Absolutely not. But then again, if you ask a coach if it's 0-0 and you concede a goal, you'd probably rather concede it in the first 5 than the last 5. So plenty of time for Maitland. They've got the home ground advantage. Plenty of time for them to get one back.
Pappas finds his keeper Tyler Warren, who was rested for that win against Bangalore. Now Maitland with an opportunity. Ryan Clark across goal. And Hamilton have done well enough to scramble it away from their 18-yard box. Alex Reid. Chances are plenty. We know the kind of attacking flair that Hamilton have played with under Pete McGuinness. And that on show already tonight. Neat piece of skill from James Thompson, who scored 2 against Boambi on the weekend, so his confidence will be sky high. Now Kent Harrison on the swivel and turn finds Reece Cooper, who is burning down the middle of the park. Danger sign to the back here for Maitland. Reece Cooper just pushed wide by Zach Thomas. Very well defended. And now Pappas. And here is Scott Pettit going for goal, and Matt Trott plucked it out of the sky. That was outstanding from Hamilton again. Gee, they are on song tonight, the Olympic boys.
They certainly are, and that would have certainly stung the palms of Matt Trott there. But look, it's good to see it's not been a cagey match. Usually with these type of games, the round 7 games, everyone's just trying to feel each other out in the first 5-10 minutes. But it's certainly been chances of plenty already.
Liam thought, gee, that's going to test out the head bandage, the header, right near that eye gash, and it was quite a sizable one. Credit to his toughness for getting out there tonight. It's Pettit. Jared Sutherland picking up the ball and distributing wide to McGuinness. Here he is, the goal scorer. Well brought down by Swan. And now striding forward is Ryan Clark. The touch did look a little heavy. Was able to win possession back and try to drop it over the top for Matt Swan, but a little overhit, and Tyler Warren is there. two sides haven't played in the FFA Cup before. First meeting tonight. Ken Harrison beats a couple. Only has Liam Thornton in front of him. Still going, Ken Harrison. And Matt Trott made himself big at the near post. He had to on that occasion. Beaten at the near post by Scott Pettit. You wouldn't want that twice in the opening 5 minutes.
Absolutely not, but you can see why Ken Harrison's been involved in so many goals. He's just direct, driven, and superb close control. And he was inches away from putting another one in.
Marcus Duncan on the throw. What a goal he scored against Bangalore. Right in front of Pettit. Alex Reid sliding in.
That was an absolute screamer, Ben, wasn't it?
Thunderbolt, and wonderfully called by Quentin Connors. He'll be on the mic tomorrow for that big round 7 clash at Lake Macquarie between Edgeworth and Valentine Phoenix. Edgeworth deciding to play their match there. They just love that facility. They really, really enjoy it. Edgeworth and the Phoenix going at it in the Cup again. 7:30 tomorrow night.
7:30 tomorrow night down at Lake Macquarie.
Now Scott Pettit has Reece Cooper outside and does use him. He will get there by the byline, and tell you what, have gotten away with one there, Maitland. It came off Liam Thornton,
Wow.
Hit the crossbar twice. It's going to be a corner kick.
You would have certainly had a bit of sympathy had that managed to just squeeze itself under the bar. That was very unfortunate for Maitland, and I guess they're lucky they got away with the corner.
So Scott Pettit heading down into the corner. One of the darker corners here at Cook Square Park. He's got men making a move in the box, and this one bending in dangerously. And in the end, it's beaten everyone, and it's going to be a goal kick. Appeals for a corner, not forthcoming.
Be fairly disappointed. It was a cracking corner, to not someone to get a touch on it. Certainly had the keeper worried.
So Matt Trott, former Central Coast Mariners goalkeeper, would have spent some time playing FA Cup matches in the UK as well. Played with Didcot Town from 2008 to 2011. Can he get onto the nationwide stage this year? If he is to do so, it's going to be Maitland who are going to have to fight back from behind. And for Maitland fans, it's not all doom and gloom, because Maitland have the best record in the NPL of coming back and winning matches. When they've conceded first, they've won 2 of 5 matches. That's the best in the NPL. As appeals for a penalty, Stephen Laurie says corner kick. And you might hear that stat and go 40% record when you concede the first goal. That doesn't sound great, but in football speak, that's not a bad record.
Oh, absolutely. You know, you concede the first goal, the likelihood is you lose the game, and that happens very often. So come back a few times, give them a bit of hope.
And they conceded first against Boambi on Saturday and fought back in that one. Question is, can they do it against much sterner opposition in Hamilton Olympic? It's the corner, curled in. Swan was there at the near post. Get another opportunity here from the throw. Called in again towards Andrew Swan waiting there. Snapping at the shot was Carl Thornton. Swan with the attempted back heel. Zach Thomas backtracking. He has been imperious at the back for Maitland this year, Zach Thomas. So impressive. The young man, just 20 years of age. As Alex Reid drops it back to Matt Trott.
You won't thank him for that one.
He just launches it. Exactly. Only one option there for Trott. A bouncing ball as well. Surface is looking good out there at Cook Square Park tonight and this season. In recent years it has been a little bobbly. Swan. Thornton. Thornton just getting his head to it, but it's going to fall for Ken Harrison. Looks to release Reece Cooper. He's going to get to the ball first here. A little bit of confusion at the back here from Maitland. He's got Ken Harrison in the middle. Does he go for goal himself? He doesn't, and his touch is too heavy.
Well, look, Ben, they got away with that one that time, but that's the third or fourth time where just pure pace has got Hamilton in behind the Maitland defence. So they're going to have to be careful because they've seen how dangerous that's been with the goal and the one that hit the bar.
They've conceded the least goals in the NPL Northern New South Wales, and they've looked jittery tonight.
You would never have thought that in this first 10-15 minutes, would you?
No, you would not. Matt Swan picking up the ball. Yes, Tom Davies outside him. Those two of 5 Maitland players who formerly played for Hamilton Olympic. Thornton. He curl one in, he can. Well dealt with in the box by Reece Pettit. Balls for Alex Reid, the former A-League man, playing in defence for Maitland. They've given the ball away again. Ken Harrison in a foot race with Zach Thomas. Strong contact, but Harrison bounces back to his feet. Remember, 10 goals in his last 6, and flying through is James Thompson. And Stephen Laurie is going to pull out a yellow card very early on. Maybe trying to inspire his side there, James Thompson. Look, it was a reckless challenge.
It's not a smart decision, to be honest. That's, he catches him a couple of inches higher or just a couple of milliseconds earlier, and that's a straight red. He's very lucky he got the yellow there. But look, maybe well inspired, and maybe he does, take a little bit of that fight to get people to pay attention and rev up. But he's got to be very careful because there's no point in revving up and playing with 10 men.
Precisely, and those two former teammates with the Jets youth back in 2015 and 2016. So you sense they know each other. So Scott Pettit from the dead ball. Gets deep towards the back post. Swan was there with the header. Pappas got there for Olympic. And then Ryan Clark trying to clear it away from danger. Here's Kyle Hodges. Can he finally get a goal for Hamilton Olympic? Kyle Hodges tonight. Likewise for Maitland. Tom Davies in that same boat. Here's Jared Sutherland. Trying to beat a few. Cooper. Along the tarmac to Marcus Duncan. Hasn't played in the round of 32 as Marcus Duncan, or in round 7 of the Cup. He was with Hamilton in 2016, but wasn't with them during that trip to round 7 of the knockout competition. Here's a free kick going Hamilton's way. More frustration for Maitland and more pressure for them to soak up.
Look, Hamilton just seem cleaner and quicker to the ball in the forward third. Every time they get there, they seem to have it closer at their feet and really driving at Maitland and putting them on the back foot, and it's causing some serious problems for what's been a really staunch defence for the majority of the season.
So Reece Pappas standing over it. He really can rip a free kick with some serious dip and swerve, and he'll be looking to do that here. Scott Pettit can as well. Scored that stunning free kick for Broadmeadow Magic back in the 2017 final series, and it was from basically this kind of range. Already scored one tonight, Pettit. He's going to leave it for Pappas, and Matt Trott with a tremendous save, and then Marcus Duncan was following it in and couldn't get the shot on target.
Fantastic free kick there. Good save by Matt Trott, but again, they got away with it this time, but Marcus Duncan was the quickest off his feet, the quickest to get in there.
Michael Balch has just walked out of his technical area to have a chat to his side, yelling out to Andrew Swan. Maybe some kind of a tactical change. You can just hear him saying, we need to shore that up, because Maitland at the moment, all at sea. Hamilton dominating and with a 1-goal advantage. And the home team are wondering what quite happened. It's going to turn into a similar story as was the case in round 9 if they're not careful, as we've got a problem with the net. The shot hit the edge of the net with such ferocity that it's ripped it from its masting, and that could be difficult. We need Costa Barbarouses, don't we?
The famous Costa meme.
Well, he's not too far down the freeway these days.
Yes, he certainly has moved off a little bit closer.
You're a Victory fan, aren't you, Lane? Is that right?
I am a Victory fan, yes.
You're probably still feeling a little bit
I'm a bit salty about that. Never like losing a player to your rivals, but yeah, we'll see.
Better than him coming to the Jets. I'll say that much. He is. So they're getting the tape on the goalpost. Round 7 of the FFA Cup in northern New South Wales. 4 teams left. Maitland, Hamilton, Edgeworth and Valentine. Tomorrow, Edgeworth play Valentine at the Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility. 7:30 tonight. It's one of these two who are going to go through to the final 32 for the very first time. It's Thompson, now Swan. Drops it back for Tom Davies, from Olympic man himself. He was there last year playing in that round 7 match against Broadmeadow Magic. Kyle Hodges coming across at the back. Davies under some pressure being applied there by Jared Sutherland. He just dwelled on possession, and the speed of Ken Harrison is there for all to see. Now Scott Pettit. He's got the overlapping run of Duncan down this right-hand side, making a lung-busting run. Possession goes astray. And now Joel Wood bounced up off the surface, a bit like a trampoline because he had a man to his left. The ball bounced a little truer, straight onto the chest. He probably could have found him. Here's Thornton. He was bedridden for most of last week, Carl Thornton, so you just wonder how far he'll get into tonight's match, feeling fresh enough. Swan finds his identical twin. Maitland looked to slow things down here.
Smart by Maitland, because it doesn't seem the ball's not sticking when it goes forward. So every time they're under that pressure with the pace and drive of the Olympic forwards, and again they put themselves under pressure again.
Reece Cooper looking to find Scott Pettit, who really had to get on his bike and asked a little too much of the striker. Now another pass going astray from Maitland, just not getting into the game as it stands currently. Jared Sutherland didn't get the Weet-Bix behind that one. Well cut out by Thornton. Now Duncan, who ripped the net apart moments ago. Gee, has some power in that right boot of his. Looks to find Ken Harrison. A one-on-one duel down in the corner. The throw's going to go the way of the home side. Thornton under some pressure from Reece Cooper. Maitland just get a chance to take a breath. Coming into this one, they'd lost just one of their last 10, the Magpies. That was against Hamilton back in round 9 in the NPL. So much more consistent than Olympic, who come into this one having won 2 of their last 4, both of those against non-NPL opposition. Scott Pettit profits from a mistake from Matt Trott. Pettit. It was Reece Pettit onto Scott, no relation between those two. Now Alex Reid. Well, it was Reece Pappas checked there in the midfield. The free kick is going to come back here for Maitland. Reece Pappas a little frustrated because he thought he was checked by Andrew Swan and maybe just blindsided Stephen Laurie. It was so far behind play. I don't blame him for not seeing it. Yeah,
look, he probably did have a case there, but again, like you say, behind play, Stephen Laurie's obviously looking where the ball's gone.
Andrew Swan. Reid back to Swan, who has just held on to possession. It was perilously close to the pressure from Jake McGuinness. Now Liam Thornton trying to drop the ball in front of Swan. It's a poor back pass, and Maitland don't make them pay. Well, what a moment that was. And it was Joel Wood, who scored 11 times this year, and you would have backed him in to make it a dozen.
Oh, I tell you what, the Hamilton will be breathing a big sigh of relief. That was a very short back pass. And again, Maitland, you've got to take those chances in these type of games. That completely changes the outlook of the game if that goes in.
Despite being under pressure for much of it, that just would have, as you said, Lane, changed the total complexion of the match. and they get a goal. They probably don't deserve at this point. Liam Thornton wondering where the ball went. Ryan Clark hooking it downfield. And James Thompson can't win the ball from Cody Lucas, the experienced Olympic left fullback. They do have the throw their way, Maitland, but the ball is quickly down the other end of the ground with Zach Thomas now. And the pass is overhit and misguided. It's actually come off an Olympic player, so they're going to get a corner out of all that.
And look, to be honest, I can't see Maitland being as bad as they were for the first 10-15 minutes for 90 minutes. They're going to come back into this game. If they can keep in touch either within a goal or get an equaliser, then you would back them to do the comeback.
I want to ask you, after this corner, you just want to have a think, Lamb, what is it? What has caused this lax start from the Magpies? This corner whipped in dangerously towards the near post, pushed away by Tyler Warren. Alex Reid trying to whack that one through a wall of bodies. As expected, it hit a few of them. It's Olympic, knock it up the ground. Tom Davies tracking back. Do you think it's the pressure of playing at home in front of a big crowd? Do you think it's the press from Hamilton?
I think it's the press,
the intensity?
I think the press and the pressure coming from Hamilton is just giving them no chance to play the balls through.
Here's some space for Swan. Cross goal. Ryan Clark was arriving at the back post. Not in time though. Sutherland. Thornton now on to Swan. Ball hooked in early. Joel Wood was there at the near post. It's a corner for Maitland, so they're just getting themselves in the match now.
That last 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes, they've just started to get a few corners, get a few chances. They're going to have to start taking one of those chances if they want to really put the pressure back on Hamilton.
Looking for some quality from this set piece. Liam Thornton, again it's delivered in dangerously towards that near post. Rolls back for Swan. Now Alex Reid under a bit of pressure here, but he's able to hook it wide towards Clark, who almost nudged it onto James Thompson. Instead, Hamilton with some space down this near side by Reese Pappas. What a diagonal ball that is, into the path of Cooper, across goal, and Zach Thomas is able to scramble it away. Only as far as Jared Sutherland though. More time and space for Cooper, and he overhits the ball. He'll be frustrated, Reese Cooper, a couple of good chances. It goes awry.
Well, I'm not sure if that was a poor shot or a poor pass. Either way, it certainly didn't work out. But again, that speed and transition from Hamilton had Maitland all at sixes.
Maitland, 8 players in their squad tonight who have lost in this final round of the FFA Cup in northern New South Wales. Olympic, they've got 9. Just one player from either side who has got through to the round of 32. Joel Wood for Maitland when he played with Lambton in 2016. And Scott Pettit, who has scored 2 goals in the round of 32 with Broadmeadow Magic. One coming against Brisbane Strikers in 2014 and one against Heidelberg in 2015 as Liam Thornton pushes forward. Hodges got his head to it first. And now Sutherland, well, he was cleaned up there in the far corner of the ground. Round 7 of the 2019 FFA Cup on Bar TV Sports. The winner of this going through to the round of 32 for the very first time. Hamilton Olympic playing away from home against the Maitland Magpies, who were in the second tier of Northern New South Wales football 5 years ago. Olympic have been one of the heavyweights for a few decades now, but yet to make an imprint on the nationwide stage of the Cup. Swan took a little deflection towards Wood, but Kyle Hodges, the veteran defender. Now Pete McGuinness has walked straight out of his technical area to issue instructions to his side. Maybe a chat to Ken Harrison, who's up front there. Liam Thornton now taken down by Marcus Duncan. Stephen Laurie saying it was all above board. A great tackle from Duncan. And now Reece Pappas striding forward. He's got too much toe for Swan, and he's still going. Pappas, he decides to strike, and Matt Trott had to dive swiftly to his right.
Look, Mick Walsh will be furious about that. He's ran all of 40 or 50 metres there with the ball at his feet, and no one putting the tackle in. And again, they've just put themselves under pressure on the back foot on the edge of their box, and that's what's cost them goals and attempts in the past 20 minutes.
Well, that just shows you the pace and skill of Reece Pappas. Quicker than a lot of players without the ball. Him running with possession. He was so close to playing A-League football as well. 18th man for the Mariners on a few occasions. A couple of years back. As here comes the corner. Trott was there. It should be a free kick, and is.
Strong goalkeeping from Trott there. Brave to come out and get the hands to it. Rightly a free kick.
Made some great saves on Saturday against Boambi. They did win 7-2, but it was closer than that. Boambi had some great opportunities. It wasn't close in the other match that Hamilton played against their North Coast opposition, 10-1 against the Bangalore Blue Dogs. Swan. That's going to roll to his former teammate, Tyler Warren. Two clean sheets for the Olympic custodian. Pettit scored the opener for Hamilton. Holds it back to Reece Pettit. And now Thornton. Pettit still going. And look at this space opening up through the midfield of Maitland again. Ken Harrison across goal. Zach Thomas with a header away. But they are looking so sluggish in the midfield, Maitland. These Pettit just strolling through the heart.
That's at least the third time someone has literally walked, or not at full pace, but wandered right through the middle of the midfield to within 20 yards of the goal.
We heard Michael Bolt earlier asking the Swan boys to really shore it up in the midfield on that occasion. On a few occasions, it just hasn't happened for them. Alex Reid. Here's Thornton. Telling James Thompson to push forward. Duncan. Got his boot to it. It's going to spin into the path of McGuinness. Back with Maitland and Carl Thornton, who finds Ryan Clark, who tries to strike from distance. Straight into Tyler Warren's arms like glue. Hamilton this year, they haven't been wonderful away from home in the league competition, the NPL. 4 matches played, just the 1 win. They've only scored 4 goals in 4 matches away from Darling Street Oval. So they haven't had a lot of confidence on the road this year. But tonight, they're playing out of their skin. We know they can do it. We know they can do it. It's just been their consistency which has been a problem. And Liam, the thing about Hamilton is if they play like they have tonight in the opening 25 minutes or so every week, they'd be in the top 4 for sure. They just haven't done it enough.
Absolutely. The first half an hour belies where they're sitting on the ladder at the moment. You'd honestly believe the positions are switched around if you didn't know it walking into this game. So again, that's got to, as much as it's got to be a positive, it's got to be really frustrating for Pete McGuinness as well to know that his boys can do this for half an hour against a team as defensively tight as Maitland.
But the important thing to remember, isn't it, is the match is 90 minutes. They've got to keep this up, this energy and intensity, and it's difficult.
And when you've not had a consistent season, you can get that little bit of doubt creep in if there is an equaliser.
Maitland did have that chance from that Olympic mistake. Swan. Now Davies. Falls for Joel Wood, who rolls it in front of Swan, who is bearing down on goal. Just took a little bobble. James Thompson looking for a teammate. Fires the pass across to Ryan Clark. On the angle. Nods it across. Knocks it across, I should say. Falls for Davies. He hooks it back into Joel Wood on the spin and turn. That was outstanding from Joel Wood, just the way he brought it down on the turn. And in the end, if he gets it a metre either side of Tyler Warren, there's problems for the Olympic keeper. He did well to get down low.
Quality technique to get that shot and turn very quickly and really test the keeper there. But you can see when they're crossing the ball in Maitland, as soon as it goes high and on the edge of the 6-yard box, Hamilton are dealing with everything. A little bit deeper or a little bit more towards the penalty spot. And got a few chances and a few options there.
Thompson. Held illegally by Reece Pappas. Andrew Swan wanting to play on quickly. Finds Matt Swan. And now Davies. They call this ball in low. Finds Carl Thornton on the volley. Didn't get the purchase behind the strike on goal.
They are finding pockets of space, Ben, and that's what will be keeping Nick Balch positive.
Lamb, the interesting thing tonight is we've got 2 Thorntons out there, both related, 2 Swans related, and 2 Pettits not related out there tonight. I think that makes it easier in commentary, doesn't it?
Absolutely. If you don't know, just guess one of those names and you're pretty close to being right.
It's Duncan. Pity we haven't got Matt Thompson playing, or we could have James and Matt Thompson, both not related as well as Harrison. Cross goal. Well controlled by Zach Thomas to ensure it didn't go out for a corner kick. So Scott Pettit's goal, the difference between the two sides, a moment that Matt Trott probably would want over again, beaten at the near post. And now Ryan Clark just swerving onto the ball. And there he is, Marcus Duncan. That's why he's one of the best defenders in the competition. Sutherland, back to Duncan. Neat turn from Jared Sutherland. We've seen what he can do over the last 2 seasons. Magical footwork. And now Pettit. Has Ken Harrison outside him. Has the run of McGuinness central. And he opts to find McGuinness, but poked it a little too hard.
But again, he just seemed to be absolutely on his own there, Scott Pettit. It just absolute mile of space. Not a great decision by him in the final ball, but again, they seem to be walking the ball through the midfield rather than playing it through. Maitland are trying to play the long balls, play the wide balls, and try and find someone. But it just seems that Hamilton are pretty content and pretty confident to take the ball at their feet and advance that 20 or 30 metres.
Well, great to have your company wherever you are watching. We've got over 400 people watching on YouTube. That is fantastic, Lamb, and I'm sure some on Facebook as well. And this is why we love the FFA Cup. There's Clark stooping for the header, and now Reid onto Thornton. Just slices this one off the side of his boot and over towards the sideline. Marcus Duncan is keen to just take some time out of the clock. Trying to find the goal scorer tonight, Scott Pettit. Loves the FFA Cup, loves Cook Square Park as well. He scored a goal in his fourth consecutive goal here at Cook Square Park. 4 in his last 4, just incredible.
Keeps that form up, Mick Ball should be trying to sign him.
Exactly. Based on that record, Liam Thornton. Duncan winning the ball from Wood, who had a gilt-edged chance to make it 1-1 from a Hamilton error. To be honest, it probably would have been unjust for it to be locked up. Pettit had to angle the pass behind Thornton, but Maitland are just slowly clawing their way back into the match.
Like I said earlier, I don't expect them to play the way they played for that first 20 minutes or half an hour for a whole 90 minutes. But it's whether they can advance going forward whilst keeping out the pressure and the press from Hamilton.
So Matt Swan looking up, has Ryan Clark alongside him, finds him. Just was bumped enough off balance by Cody Lucas. And then Scott Pettit got himself in the way of the pass. Clark with the outside of his boot onto Thornton. And now James Thompson. Can he come up with something down towards the byline? Here's a corner for Maitland. Our home fans wanting to make some noise here at Cook Square Park.
Good crowd out here as well.
One of the biggest matches in their history, right up there with the 2014 second division promotion match against Valentine, where they won and moved up to the top flight. Here's the corner, and it's pinball in the box, and Reese Cooper has come away with it. And Hamilton fans breathed a sigh of relief when they saw their number 10 rushing out of the 18-yard box, because that could have gone anywhere. Thomas finds Trott. Just whacks his right boot through it. James Thompson will wish he had his time over again. That's come out off Liam Thornton there. Frustration for Maitland. He knew it as well. Cooper to Duncan. Now Hamilton just going through a phase here where they're giving away possession. Just losing a bit of focus after that wonderful start. Clark across goal. Now Reese Cooper trying to swerve his run away from Thomas.
Feels a little bit like the roles of reverse a little bit here. It seems to be that Hamilton's ball isn't sticking going forward now, and Zach Thomas is a big part of that. He's intercepted a few, but at the same point that pressure is now building and building from Maitland. So it's I think Mick Ball should be much happier with how the first half is finishing than it started.
Inside the final 8 minutes of this opening half at Cook Square Park, the home of the Maitland Magpies. Alex Reid just curling the pass in front of Liam Thornton. Rushes into some open space and finds Thompson. But Marcus Duncan again. He's dominated that one-on-one duel down the left edge for Maitland, the right for Olympic. They're just winning those one-on-one contests at the moment. Hamilton Olympic, especially defensively.
I think Marcus Duncan has been fantastic down this their right-hand side. And again, as soon as anything goes into the centre, two centre halves just seem to be winning it more often than not.
And I think it's important to note, Liam, that before they went down 4-2 to Western in their last match in the NPL, Hamilton actually had the best defence in the NPL Northern New South Wales. So these two sides very much have stood tall because of their defence, more so than their attack. Here's Joel Wood, top of the 18-yard box. He absolutely thumped it. Good save from Tyler Warren. It's been in the final third where both sides have struggled in 2019. Cody Lucas tries to drop it into the path of Kent Harrison. Alex Reid did well in the far corner of the ground.
Tell you what's lucky I trust you, Ben, because I think watching this first half an hour, you wouldn't have believed that stat in terms of the quality of the defence, given the mistakes that have been made at both sides. I mean, again, Hamilton's defence has been a bit stronger, but there was certainly some mistakes made there. There was certainly plenty of mistakes made from Maitland. It's hard to believe these are two of the best defensive sides in NPL.
Alex Reid, off the back of his head, falls for Carl Thornton. Yeah, last year, Hamilton were outstanding in the final third, but it was defence which, in the end, made sure that they didn't make the top four. Just let in too many goals. This year, it's the opposite way around. As Pettit with a nutmeg on Swan. It opened up for him for a moment. Now Pappas rolls it wide to Cooper. A swivel and turn. Now McGuinness finds a pass wide to Cody Lucas. Nudged into the middle, and Matt Trott there at the near post to swoop on the ball.
Well, I think the difference just there, you've seen as soon as that ball went up, basically everyone bar Joe Wood was behind the ball. And you could see the difference it made. Rather than being caught short, so we're able to crowd it out.
Cooper to Harrison, looking to play the 1-2 with a young striker, Reese Cooper. Now Pettit hooking it across goal. Had to be made, that header, by Alex Reid.
They keep giving Pettit lots of room to whip in crosses, and they've already been stung more than once by those crosses. They'll be getting out to him a lot quicker to shut that down.
And even though we're talking about maybe Maitland just getting back into the match, Hamilton are still creating the better of the chances. Maitland just can't seem to break through this brick wall of a back line Hamilton Olympic has put in front of him.
Absolutely. You look more confident, or you feel more confident of Hamilton scoring when they go forward than you do with Maitland, even though Maitland are creating probably more of the chances in the last 10-15.
Yeah, Hamilton, Maitland coach, I should say, Michael Balch, former Hamilton coach. He was there for 8 years before leaving at the end of the 2017 season. Alex Reid.
Risky.
Back to Trot. Maitland fans with their hearts in their mouths for a moment. Thomas tried to drop that one to Ryan Clark, and his header went straight to Jake McGuinness. Marcus Duncan in front of the grandstand here at Cook Square Park. Here's the skipper, Kyle Hodges. What an outstanding player he has been over a long period of time for Olympic and also across the top flight in northern New South Wales. Pappas. Pettit. Back to Hodges, 31 years of age. 2 losses in round 7 of the FFA Cup. Wouldn't he love to make it through? Third time lucky for Kyle Hodges. Tom Davies, one-on-one with Jared Sutherland. Those two together at Olympic last year. It's been interesting to watch so far. Sutherland's got great skills on the ball. Tom Davies has got some engine. Now Tyler Warren. The ball looked a little aimless, but Ken Harrison made something happen. He did come from an offside position though. That's what he can do. He's just added that goal-scoring spark that Hamilton needed. They lacked it earlier in the season. Goals in 6 consecutive matches.
Given the way the first half has gone, you wouldn't bet against it being 7 by the time the 90 minutes is up.
4 goals against Bangalow on Saturday, and there's a poor ball over the top, so Maitland heading towards the end of this first 45 minutes, very much in the same way that they started. Do they need a rev up at half time?
I think they do, but at the same point, I mean, tactically, I don't think they need to change that much. They just, sounds a bit oversimplified, but hold up the ball a little bit better in that final third and really keep Hamilton under pressure. They've seen in that 5-10 minutes where they're able to keep Hamilton under pressure that they were creating chances. But it's just a matter of doing that whilst not leaving too many gaps at the back.
Swan puts the ball in the air. Straight to another bald-headed player out there in Kyle Hodges. Cody Lucas couldn't squeeze that one through. A very tight opening. Inside the final 5 minutes of this first half. Round 7 of the FFA Cup. Maitland up against Hamilton. The winner going through to the round of 32 for the very first time. Pettit. The run of Duncan uses him. The goal scorer Scott Pettit for Hamilton Olympic. Inside the opening 5 minutes, they stun the home fans here at Cook Square Park. Liam Thornton. He's been put under some pressure by Duncan and also Pettit. Here's Reese Cooper. Thornton was nervy and then Swan dove in as well. Pappas looks up. Got right under it, but it was always curling wide, but worth a try.
Definitely worth a try. You could see if it hadn't got that last bit of dip and swerve on it, it would certainly been on target and had Matt Trott a bit worried. Tell you what, in the nicest possible way, Scott Pettit's a pest, isn't he? I'd hate to play against him. He is just, every time he's lost the ball, he's straight back in and putting the Maitland defenders under pressure, and it's really making a difference as to the delivery of their ball coming out of the defensive line.
29 years young, Scott Pettit. Coming in here tonight, 2 in his last 3 against Maitland. Make that 3 in his last 4 now. This one isn't even over yet. Here he is again. Can he get in on the act in front of the fans in Clarkie's corner? Head it down to the byline, curling it across, and Zach Thomas again. He has been mighty, the centre-back for Maitland. Pettit searching for Pettit. It's Pappas, and now Swan. Here's McGuinness. James Thompson. Pass looked a little under hit and was, and Zach Thomas had to clean up for Maitland.
Well, Zach Thomas is the reason Maitland are still in this game right now, in my opinion.
I think you're spot on there, Liam, as Joel Wood flows forward. It's still only the 1-goal advantage, and this is a free kick. In decent position here for the Magpies. The question is, who's going to take it? Do they have the quality to find the back of the net? Because Matt Thompson, we've seen him do it. He's out with a calf injury for still a few more weeks. If they make it through to the round of 32, he will most likely be back, but they don't have him out there tonight. It's going to be James Thompson standing over the ball. He scored 3 FFA Cup goals. Second highest scorer for the Magpies in the Cup in 2019. Scored 2 against Boambi on Saturday. Joel Wood's also there, but it will be Joel Wood to take. And in the end, it's gone up and over. And Stephen Laurie brings the first 45 minutes to an end, and it was Hamilton who raced out of the blocks and scored inside the opening 5 minutes via Scott Pettit, who made it goals in his last 4 matches here at Cook Square Park. They had a few chances afterwards. Maitland's best chance fell the way of Joel Wood, who couldn't poke his chance home at the near post. And really, Hamilton deserve the 1-0 lead at half-time. Half-time at Cook Square Park. It's Maitland 0, Hamilton 1. Liam Bentley, Maitland have got a bit of work to do in this second half.
They do, and I think, look, the positive is they're only 1-0 down. They could have been 2 or 3, given the deflections and given the pressure from Hamilton Olympic. So they'll go out there, they know they can create chances, they know they've caused a bit of trouble for the Hamilton defence. So I think they'll go out there knowing that if they just tighten up in a few areas, they'll certainly be well within an equaliser.
Well, let's take a quick break. We'll be back in 10. It's the FFA Cup on Bar TV Sports, and it is Hamilton leading Maitland here at Cook Square Park. Welcome back to Cook Square Park, round 7 of the FFA Cup. And it's Maitland up against Hamilton. Two sides who have never made it through to the nationwide round of 32. And at half time, it's Hamilton who are one step closer. Scott Pettit scoring in the opening 3 minutes. And it's Hamilton who will get us underway. One of the most successful clubs in northern New South Wales football over the last 20 years or so. Can they make it through to the last 32 for the very first time? We're back underway. As 4 clubs become 3, we'll be closer to knowing that. Most likely in the next 45 minutes, unless Liam Bentley, we're going to go into extra time.
Look, given the way this match is going, I would not put it out of the question.
So can Maitland just come out in the second half a whole lot better than they did in the first? Here is Joel Wood, and already an early strike from Maitland. It won't be a corner, or will it? It will. In front of Clarkie's corner as well. Big throng of Maitland fans down there.
I tell you what, Maitland get a goal in the first 5-10 minutes, and the first half is practically forgotten, and it is all Maitland for that last 45 minutes.
And that's what Hamilton did so well by scoring inside 3 minutes. Just silence this big home crowd. But the momentum will be with Maitland if they can score. It's Thornton. Straight onto the head of Cody Lucas. It was at that near post. Reece Cooper it might have been. So Thornton will get another opportunity. Thornton getting a little more height here. And that was dangerous again at the near post. And it was the slight frame of Jared Sutherland who was there to nod it away from goal.
There's something about balls coming in from this corner. It has just been...
Here it is again from Thornton. This time Kyle Hodges got himself there to head it away. Alex Reid looping it up. Tyler Warren spilled it on the first grab and is there on the second attempt. And I'm thinking a few of those Maitland fans behind the goal at the southern end will be giving him a little bit in this second half.
Absolutely, and you wouldn't have it any other way, would you?
Great atmosphere being created by these home fans at Maitland. Joel Wood brings it down. Had the best chance for Maitland in the first half. In front of Ryan Clark, who scored for Maitland on Saturday. And it's going to be another corner here.
Clarkie does love his corner, but it looks of it already. He's got the boys up and about.
So another one on the way. And they've even, the best part of Clarkie's corner is the photo there of Ryan Clark. How good's that?
It's fantastic.
The angled head. Thornton in again, and Tyler Warren isn't across the line. It is. Maitland have the equaliser they craved. And it's come just minutes into the second half.
I think that one's come straight from the corner, Benny. Straight in. Tyler Warren couldn't get a grip of it, and it's gone right into the back of the net, and we have a game.
So both goalkeepers playing a part in goals down the southern end of Cook Square Park and inside the opening 5 minutes of each half. And all of a sudden, the momentum is with Maitland. Scott Pettit trying to turn the tide. Win his side a throw.
Well, you assume at half-time, Peter McGuinness has said, go out, keep it tight for the first 10-15 and really put them under pressure. And that goes straight out the window when you see a goal in the first 5 minutes of the half.
Well, they'll be disappointed with that Tyler Warren. Should be claiming that. Just like Matt Trott probably would have said in the first half, he should have stopped that cross shot from Scott Pettit, fired in at the near post. Although he did hit it hard, both goalkeepers probably should have done better on each occasion.
Absolutely. I think look, you show both keepers the footage back and they will both cringe a little bit, I imagine. But again, yeah, all the balls coming in from this corner seem to be causing a whole world of pain for the goalkeepers.
Well, that's very interesting. The Maitland bench has run down to warm up, including the backup keeper, Jez Murray.
Maybe just a chilly night, Ben, keeping himself warm.
Doesn't always happen, does it? Normally you see the backup keeper only start to warm up when they need to, if there's a potential injury. Let's hope Tyler Warren doesn't see that.
That won't fill you with confidence, will it?
No, it would not. So here's Scott Pettit. Going to deliver a dangerous ball, and it just overhit that one beyond the far post.
What do you do if you're Mick Bolshere? Do you keep the press up? Do you keep pushing? Or do you just settle for a little bit, try and keep control of the game, and then try and go for the late winner?
Well, it's fascinating, isn't it? Because Hamilton, up to this point, have had the better of the chances. Maitland really only have had a couple of really good ones, one from that corner, and then Joel Wood's chance that he just pushed wide in the first half. So they'll be over the moon with this scoreline. Ryan Clark with effectively like a box kick that up and over the top. Swan over the chest of Pettit. Now he's looking for a chip and chase. McGuinness. Now Jared Sutherland, 1 goal for him in the FFA Cup this season. Here's Reece Cooper looking up and trying to find an opening. Found Scott Pettit, who curls it towards the back post. McGuinness was waiting there. James Thompson might be lucky to still be out there after a challenge in the first half on Ken Harrison. Now a strike from Pettit. They've taken a deflection, and it definitely did. So corner kick for Olympic.
You've got to be careful if you're Maitland here. You've just got the equaliser, you've got the momentum, you've got the crowd behind you. If you start giving up possession and territory like they have done in the last couple of minutes since the goal, you can lose that momentum fairly quickly.
So Scott Pettit in towards the near post. And it just bounced up and awkwardly over the top of Reece Pettit. Has he given away the free kick? He hasn't. Ryan Clark couldn't keep it inside the near sideline. Pete McGuinness up and out of his seat. He was here at this point last year with Hamilton Olympic. And they were at 1-1 in this round 7 match as well with Broadmeadow Magic. They came from behind. Jed Hornery equalised for them in that one after Magic took the early lead. And then John Majerowski scored the winner for Magic last year in round 7. So this one right on a knife's edge. Swan. Hodges with his boot to it. Now Cody Lucas, in front of Sutherland, just out-muscled by Tom Davies. Thornton, and then Clark cleaned up by Reece Cooper. He's having a little bit of a chuckle, thinking he made a bit more of it than was actually there.
May have just given a little bit of sauce on that one. The foul was there, but I think he's giving it the old scream and everything.
Well, when you've got a corner named after you, you may as well. So Zach Thomas, not a bad free kick. Tyler Warren with the punch away. Now Reece Pappas flowing forward and delivering wide to Ken Harrison. Still going Ken Harrison. And he does well enough to win a corner kick. And you see Tom Davies there, usually playing on the right. He got all the way across to the left. He has got some engine.
And you look at that pace of transition for Hamilton again. That was a free kick that Tyler Warren just punched away. And then within a couple of seconds, Hamilton corner. So Maitland have to be careful they don't get caught in that transition. It happened a few times in the first 20-25 minutes.
Corner whipped in towards Marcus Duncan. And then it was Jared Sutherland rising at the back post. Not quite the height to rein it in. Thompson. And now a chance here for Joel Wood. Was there a handball? Massive appeals from Clarkie's corner.
Nope, not a chance, Bennett. Definitely didn't hit his hand.
Tom Davies with the header away. Great officiating from the man in the middle, Steve Laurie. That's why he's one of the top officials in the local league.
And don't get me wrong, I wouldn't say that in front of Clarkie's corner myself, but it definitely wasn't a handball.
Pettit. And now Swan putting Pettit under pressure. How did he keep that under his control? Outstanding close control from Pettit. Swan returned. And now Carl Thornton, and all of a sudden it's Maitland with the energy and intensity that Hamilton was showing in the first half. Well, just as I say that.
Commentator's cost, Brendan.
A mistake from Liam Thornton just totally relieves the pressure.
We'll start to see now the challengers are getting a little bit more willing. They're starting to figure out and feel what's on the line in the next half an hour or so.
Here it is opening up for Maitland again. And Ryan Clark, he has Wood and Thompson in the middle. Does he go for goal himself? He ran himself into a cul-de-sac in the end, Ryan Clark. But he's still going. Well, that's incredible. And then Kyle Hodges was there to mop up for Hamilton Olympic. Only as far as Andrew Swan. The late run of Liam Thornton. And the cross is dangerous. Tyler Warren was having to flap it away. And now the clearance from Sutherland is a good one up towards Ken Harrison, but Zach Thomas, Imperious at the back. Once again, Tom Davies quick to take the throw for Maitland. Thompson just fired off the shot again. It was a Reece Pettit in the way. Tom Davies, we know he can really deliver across. He's in a foot race with Pettit. He did well there, Davies, and Pettit returned. Two young men going at it there. Fantastic. And Reece Pettit has done the job. And then Sutherland got crushed. And Tom Davies is into the book. Maybe a little frustrated after being dispossessed by Reece Pettit. Sutherland got absolutely hammered in there. That was a Sutherland sandwich.
Look, quite agree with Steve. I'm glad he let the one in the corner go. There was just, like you say, two young bulls going at it and good physical game. But I think that was just a little bit in the naughty side and definitely deserved a card.
Tom Davies, 22, Reece Pettit, 21. The young bulls going head to head at Cook Square Park, right in front of the Maitland fans.
Good atmosphere now starting to build. It's been nice and noisy.
Just needed a goal, didn't it, from Maitland? Just
absolutely.
To lift the home fans. Packed all around the ground tonight. I know how big this would be for the region, and now Jared Sutherland away from Davies. And then Andrew Swan, the experienced Andrew Swan, winning possession back for Maitland. Oh, the temperature is rising, isn't it, Liam?
Absolutely. This is what cup football is all about.
Carl Thornton now to Wood and Cody Lucas. Great intensity from the Hamilton left fullback. Pappas. Here's Duncan. This match right on an even keel as the ball comes across goal. Alex Reid nodded it away. And then McGuinness just tried to scoop it forward into the box. Turned away from Thornton. And great intervention from Ryan Clark, but Kyle Hodges saw the touch. It was heavy. And then Tom Davies, according to referee Steve Laurie, nothing doing there on Jared Sutherland. Pete McGuinness thought otherwise. Pappas has men out to his right, including Marcus Duncan, who he finds. Duncan opts for the low cross. Cooper flicking it at the near post. Almost found the top corner.
I think if Hamilton want to get back into this, they need to get a bit more out of Marcus Duncan in the second half. He was everywhere in the first half, and then even for that little spell in the second half, a couple of minutes, he looked good, but he's been very quiet otherwise. I don't know if that's to do more with Maitland pushing him back and keeping him back in that back four, or if he's just slowed down the pace a little bit.
Both these two sides have racked up the goals in the FFA Cup so far this year. Hamilton scoring 27 in their three previous matches. Maitland 15. And now Joel Wood right in front of Thompson. Well, he will have wished he had his time over again.
You'll have nightmares about that one, Ben. That's a gift. That.
And I will say it was spinning away from him, but he just didn't get his boot around it, did he?
Absolutely. Even just getting the head on that underneath it or the leg. But look, they're pressing.
Scored here against Hamilton Olympic last year in round 7 in that 3-2 win that Maitland had. A match where they actually led 2-0. Olympic came back and made it 2-2, and then Alex Reid scored in the last 3 minutes. That was the last meeting between these two sides here at Maitland. Olympic haven't won here in 2 years. Here's a free kick with Scott Pettit, the man to stand over it. A pile of bodies at the top of the 18-yard box. Pettit in, trot there to scramble in the box, and the ball has landed right in the arms of the Maitland custodian. Hodges, Pettit, turned inside away from Swan. Now McGuinness, wide to Duncan. Great ball infield to Pettit, who just rifled one at the near post. You said they need to use Marcus Duncan more. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. Absolutely. If you're a Hamilton fan. Round 7 of the FFA Cup on Bar TV Sports. Great to have your company, Ben Homer and Liam Bentley, with you in commentary for this one. Hamilton here for the 3rd time in the last 4 seasons. They haven't made it past round 7. And Maitland here for the 2nd time in the last 3 seasons. So they're always there and thereabouts. Never quite made the final leap to the last 32 in the country.
You're going to feel sorry for whoever doesn't make it again. It's going to be pretty painful.
And I said pre-match, Liam, that as we see Liam Thornton here, down into the corner. Scott Pettit harassing and harrying him. Maitland looking to win a corner, and the ball just whipped across goal, and Reece Pettit read it like an open book. I was saying that the loser of this match, the players will be thinking, will we ever make it through to the last 32? That's the question they'll be asking themselves. As Zach Thomas, he's got a hefty piece of that. Clark, not the power to lob it over the top of Tyler Warren. It just heaves the throw out in front of Scott Pettit. There's a few players on both sides who have lost on 2 occasions at round 7 of the Cup. You wouldn't want to make it 3, but for some it will be. And after the temperature just rose for a period there, we're just in a little bit of a lull.
A little bit of nerves just settling in, knowing how close each of them are. And like you say, when there has been that many players on both sides, that
here is the corner across goal. Pettit was there. That was Reece Pettit, the centre back for Hamilton Olympic, has scored in the Cup this season against Warners Bay in round 5. That was a bigger win that night, 11-0. So not quite as important as tonight. Hamilton's road to this point, 6-1 over Hamilton Azuri, 11-0 over Warners Bay, 10-1 over Bangalore. A very easy run for them. And Maitland 4-0 over Swansea, 4-3 over Charlestown, and 7-2 over Boambi. Pappas. It's come out off Jared Sutherland. He looks a little confused. Tom Davies looked to have given up that throw, but he says thank you very much. Clark in a really tight spot there, and he's done well to win his side. No, he hasn't. Now the throw goes the other way. Zach Thomas again, marauding at the back for Maitland. Thompson up and over the top in front of Joel Wood, and Tyler Warren made himself big, got his legs in the way and denied the Maitland striker, and still he's looking for his 12th of the season. Wood on the turn. Now Swan hanging it up. Tyler Warren goes up AFL style.
Clearly identified the high balls into Tyler Warren as being an avenue.
Well, it's worked for them on one occasion, hasn't it, with the corner?
Good touch.
Now Thompson, cross goal, took a little deflection, straight into the path of Pappas. Tried to power the ball forward.
Wasn't a lot of support coming from midfield there. There was a 3 up front and then a massive gap before got back to Matt Swan.
Michael Bolt's just yelling out at his side to get onside. James Thompson and Ryan Clark both offside. Tyler Warren under some pressure, which is poor, especially if the ball comes up and over the top, the recycled ball off the head, and there's a chance there. But here's Reece Cooper down the other end of the ground for Hamilton. The diminutive Reece Cooper to the smaller Jared Sutherland. And good footwork from him. Pettit!
Well,
wow.
That looked in from here, didn't it, Ben? That looked very, very close.
Gee whiz, that was just wide to the right from Scott Pettit. He loves the big nights. And it remains 1-1. Well, what a way that would have been to make it 2-1.
I think just going back to what Mick Box was yelling out not so long ago about getting onside quickly. Clearly that comes hand in hand with an instruction to get the ball forward quickly when you win it. And that becomes very difficult to do if you've got strikers lagging 15-20 yards offside.
There's a free kick going Hamilton's way. So Hamilton just having the better of the chances in the last couple or so. Round 7 of the FFA Cup. Great to have your company wherever you are watching around the country. There's the free kick in again, straight onto the head of Tom Davies. Now Clark. And Wood up the line. Dropping it in front of Swan, Kyle Hodges. Back he goes to Tyler Warren. Thornton. Well, to be honest, Liam, Zach Thomas has been the best man on the park tonight. I can't go.
You got to stop that, Ben.
I'm sorry. If you want someone to make a mistake, just let me know, and I'll give him some praise. As Reece Cooper gives the ball away in the midfield.
You praise the defences with the 2 goalkeeper headers. Every player you praise.
I tell you what, one man who I would praise and still wouldn't make a mistake is probably Scott Pettit.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's between those two for the 2 best in the park, in my opinion, as well.
Yeah, Pettit and Thomas and Liam Thornton. Well, that was odd, I must say. That was one of the more interesting moments of the match. I will just share something with everyone. Chris Turner, who a lot of people will know normally commentates with myself on the weekends in the NPL, noticed something in the first half. I'll come back to it after Swan pushes forward. Angles the pass wide to James Thompson. As Lucas backtracking and curls it. He got some neat curl, but just not the height.
What's the try?
Chris Turner said in the first half he has never seen a ball hit the crossbar twice in 40 years of football.
Yeah, honestly, I was thinking that myself. I can't ever recall having the same shot hit a crossbar twice.
And that's what happened in the first half tonight. So got to love the FFA Cup. Odd things happen.
Well, I think that little clip might make it in the Maitland WhatsApp group to Liam Thornton.
Very. Well, he's had a couple of odd moments tonight, so. And on that occasion, he's knocked that one straight over the touchline. So still we wait. Remember last year in the FFA Cup in round 7, we went to penalties in the match between Lambton and Charlestown at Lyle Carr Oval. That was an enthralling match.
What
Danny Ireland.
That was, Ben. That
Danny
was unbelievable.
Ireland got his team through. Are we heading that way this year? The two sides who have never made it there. Kent Harrison, could he change things? 10 goals in his last 6 matches. Pettit. McGuinness. Kicks the pass wide in front of Cody Lucas, but Tom Davies was a weight to it. And the throw will go the way of the home side. The miss drops and the suspense builds, Liam.
Whoever gets the winner tonight, it's certainly going to be one to remember.
Lucas, Pappas. Here's Jake McGuinness. He's made a habit of scoring in the FFA Cup for Hamilton. He scored more goals in the Cup than he has in the NPL over his last 2 seasons. And that one too high for the head of Jared Sutherland. He's had his moments tonight, but Tom Davies has kept him under the cosh for most of it. Davies onto the run of Thompson. Couldn't find the pass forward. Pick out Joel Wood. Has been denied on a couple of occasions tonight. It's now Maitland just getting in each other's way at the back. In the end, fortuitously, they've won possession back, and here's Ryan Clark rushing forward. Can he score a goal in front of his corner? Looks to pick the cross, takes his time, whips it in. Cody Lucas's header wasn't fantastic. Carl Thornton barreled over. Penalty Magpies. A nod from Stephen Laurie was enough. Reece Pettit complains, but the penalty stands. And Liam Bentley, you nodded as well.
Absolutely. Look, it's a silly challenge. It's not malicious. It's just clumsy. But he's taken away his opportunity to play the ball, and that's a penalty every day of the week for me.
So Joel Wood, well, there's a bit of pressure on this. We know what he's done in his career. Spent some time with the Jets. He's been with Magic, Edgeworth. He's been down in Sydney. He's been to the round of 32 of the FFA Cup. Is he about to give Maitland a chance to go there for the very first time? Wood, and the comeback kings in 2019 have come from behind again, and they are in front. 2-1 to Maitland. Still plenty of time left for Hamilton, but this is one resilient side.
Well, you mentioned it earlier, Ben, about their ability to come back from being down and going down at the start. And they have shown it once again.
The Magpies 2, Hamilton 1.
Cool, composed, superb stuff from Joel Wood. And Cody Lucas has been withdrawn. And Shinichi Kawachi, the Japanese import, is out there. He scored once in the Cup against Warners Bay in that 11-0 win, but he scored some big goals in the NPL, 3 to be precise. They'll want one from him tonight, at least.
Certainly not beyond Hamilton to get the equaliser, Ben.
I'll be wondering what quite happened, Olympic. Here's a ball across goal, straight into the waiting arms of Matt Trott. Because they have just looked more dangerous in the final third. But Maitland are in front, and Ryan Clark striding forward. If they can get a third, it will be almost impossible. James Thompson's offside. He poked his shot wide anyway.
Honestly seems like a complete role reverse, so that's exactly what Scott Perrott done in the first half a couple of times, just that walk through the 20 yards directly in front of our camera position to set up a goal.
Michael Balch has just called out to Grant Brown to get him to come up the line and get ready to come out onto the park. He played for Hamilton in 2016 when they missed out on the round of 32, losing to Lambton. It was actually one of his former clubs. Could he be there in the round of 32 for the very first time? He's going to head out there soon. Reese Cooper looking to change that. Straight onto Swan. One of 5 former Olympic players in the Maitland side. Remembering that Hamilton coach Pete McGuinness came to the club last year after Michael Bulch was moved on at the end of 2017, a mutual decision between the club and him after 8 years at Olympic. Carl Thornton. Now Liam Thornton chipping it forward. Wood scored his 12th of the season just a moment ago, and that ball in front of Ryan Clark, who was offside. Time is of the essence now, inside the final 15 minutes, and this year Maitland have been absolutely unstoppable in the last 15. 7 goals for, none against in the NPL. For Hamilton, 3 goals for, 3 against. They come alive in the final 15.
That is extremely impressive for any club.
That's the best in the competition. And that just shows you why they are the comeback kings, Maitland. Because they're scoring a lot of goals in the last 15. But Hamilton have got a chance here from the set piece. Grant Brown is getting ready to come out in 25 for Maitland. But as we know, Liam, you're not going to make a change before a defensive set piece.
You're asking for trouble if you do.
Here's Pappas, cross goal, falls for McGuinness, and the shot has taken a deflection and it's a corner. Scott Pettit taking no time as you'd expect. He's rushing over to take it. Scored the opener. Seems like an age ago now, inside the opening 3 minutes. Curling it high to that back post. James Thompson somehow kept that inside the byline. He has. He's done really well. It's a bobbling ball. Kyle Hodges sweeping up at the back, keeping it inside. Kawachi just rocketed that one looking for Pettit. Cooper picks the ball up in the midfield. Striding forward. And this ball just fired across goal with the outside of the boot. McGuinness took his time to curl it. Fell for Harrison. Now Jared Sutherland. And now just lashing at it is Reese Pappas. Maybe frustration more than anything.
Ben, I mentioned Marcus Duncan being quiet. I think that's the first time I've heard you say Kent Harrison's name in a good 15-20 minutes. He's really not had an impact in the second half at all, after looking pretty much unstoppable in the first half.
He was so busy in that first half, as you said, Liam. And I did think that as Ken Harrison got a touch. So James Thompson off the ground. A smart move from Michael Bolt, a defensive move. But also James Thompson is on a yellow card. And let's be honest, probably is very lucky to be out there. And Michael Bolt, well done. He's pleased with the effort of his front man. Or one of his front men. Thornton. Hodges, bit of aerial ping pong for the moment. Marcus Duncan dropping it into the path of Hodges. Scoops and curls it to Reese Pettit. His touch was heavy. He went in. Got away with it. McGuinness now rolling it wide. Is there an opportunity for Kawachi to deliver? There was. Carl Thornton is taking his time to clear it. Over near the Olympic fans on the far side of the ground.
So a substitution for the Magpies. James Thompson, number 30, replaced by number 25, Grant Brown.
And Hamilton have just got in each other's way there. Reese Cooper and look to beat Kawachi over there. Pettit. Where is their avenue to goal? It has really dried up in the last 15 minutes or so. Is there an opening somewhere for them? Kawachi weaving across the ground. Hodges. Now Cooper, he just spotted an opening right through the midfield. Took on the strike. Michael Bolts will know exactly what kind of skill and threat Reece Cooper possesses, having coached him for so many years. Cooper right on a dime for Marcus Duncan. Now Kawachi. Curling it in early. Tom Davies with the first time clearance in front of Joel Wood. Calmly just holding the ball up. Was it Valentine last year? Joel Wood frustrated in a side who finished dead last. He was actually hoping to go to Maitland last year, but the PPS didn't allow it. And he ended up at Valentine, and now he's at Maitland, scoring a lot of goals, and a big one at that. And we know the kind of player he is. Former Golden Boot, grand final winner as well in the NBN State League. He's back in the big time, in big matches and scoring enormous goals. And it was his penalty to make it 2-1 for Maitland. So here's another change for Hamilton. It's going to be Jed Hornery, who scored for Hamilton in round 7 of the FFA Cup last year against Broadmeadow Magic. He was full of confidence this time last year. In 2019, he's just struggled for goals. None in the Cup, just 2 in the NPL.
Jed Hornery
in 2019 for Jed Hornery. But all will be forgotten if he can get on the board tonight.
Absolutely.
Swan curling at one bounce up the line. Wood, he was being tugged by Pettit, and the free kick goes the way of Hamilton.
He knew what he was doing. He started it. He knew it was a clever play when you can get away with it, but won't happen every time.
Hodges. Cooper. It's just been 2 moments for Hamilton. Tyler Warren's fumble in the 6-yard box, and then the penalty after the bump on Carl Thornton. But Maitland under pressure here. Jed Hornery with the attempted snap on goal. And now Liam Thornton, after the clearance, they're almost able to equalise their Olympic. So close. Jed Hornery just opened up for him in the 18-yard box. The suspense continues at Cook Square Park. 2 sides who have never made the last 32 in the country going at it here. Pettit calls it in. Jed Hornery diving low. Couldn't get the header on target. He's looking dangerous.
Like, smart bit of play to try and get it in low and hard and just get the knock on there. But look, all 3 goals tonight, Ben, have come from mistakes. 2 goalkeeper errors and an error to give away the penalty. So you certainly wouldn't put any money against another error. Either giving an equaliser or the definitive winner.
You'd like a piece of magic, wouldn't you?
You'd love it, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'd love it.
Matt Trott groaning as he knocked that one up the ground. The backup keeper to Danny Vukovic in the 2008 A-League Grand Final, Matt Trott. Jake McGuinness couldn't keep that one inside the sideline. And there's Swan just allowing the clock to wind down a little more. Having a total air swing as he attempted to catch that ball.
The most frustrating thing in the world when you're the opposition, Ben. Absolutely hate it. Except when it's your team.
If you're a fan of Maitland, you're having a little chuckle. If you're a fan of Hamilton, you're throwing the, the iPad across the room. Kawachi. Marcus Duncan, he can't find the pass now. The pressure is just beginning to tell on Hamilton. And once again, this match is basically summing up their season. They've been outstanding for periods and then poor, really poor for others. And just losing the big moments.
It's only been a different second half for Maitland. That first half an hour didn't seem like the Maitland that have gone in the top 4 in the NPL.
Maybe a similar start to that semi-final first leg that they had against Broadmeadow Magic last year, and Magic put 3 goals on them. And now Grant Brown said, I might take on the strike. Tyler Warren has to scuffle out of goal to prevent it from going out for a corner.
Like I say, I think that's the difference between a team like Magic and a team like Hamilton at the moment, is Hamilton couldn't capitalise. They certainly had the opportunities to it, and if it had been 2 or 3-0 at half time, Maitland probably couldn't have complained too much.
Pettit.
Go! Woodsy, get across! Get across!
Duncan now. They're so close now. Michael Balch and Maitland to the round of 32. There's still time to go in this one. Hamilton are going to get a free kick. Down right against the byline. And everyone is getting back to defend this, including Joel Wood.
The free kicks in that final third at this time in a match is an absolute coach killer.
Hearts in mouths for Maitland fans all around Cook Square Park. Inside the final 5 minutes. Remembering, in the NPL, Maitland haven't conceded in this period. Hamilton across goal. Pettit was there at the near post. It's pinball around in the box. They fall for the strike, I should say, of Marcus Duncan. And they clear it away. The ball's coming back in. Falls for Jared Sutherland, brought it down nicely. Does he take on the strike? He does, Jared Sutherland, and Matt Trott, absolutely tremendous from Trott. The home fans appreciate that piece of goalkeeping. Michael Balch is going horse on the sideline in front of us. Ball cleared away by Maitland. It's all hands to the pump for the Magpies tonight.
I think Matt Trott's on an even keel now after the first half. That's a cracking save.
Now Cooper. He's in on goal. Reece Cooper swiveling and turning. And the ball is not in the back of the net. It's
offside.
going to be offside against Hamilton. Well, it could have gone anywhere there.
I don't know about you, but I literally held my breath as that run went through. It looked like there was going to be a penalty, there was going to be a good shot and goal. The offside just killed the attack.
Well, they're not going to do it the easy way here, Maitland.
That wouldn't be much fun to watch, would it?
As I said pre-match, the last 3 matches between these two sides have gone every which way. 4-0 to Hamilton in round 9 this year, 0-0 last year in round 18 in the NPL. Round 7 last year, Maitland won 3-2. So the way this one was going to go was anyone's guess. And it's far from settled. Pettit squares it up. Pappas. Holds the pass in front of Kawachi, drops it back to Pappas, who just hooks a deep curling ball. Sutherland is dropping back deep. He looks up, doesn't opt for the pass immediately. Now Kawachi into bodies, down towards the corner flag. Swan picks up the ball, brings it out from their own defensive third, but Hamilton have won possession back by Jared Sutherland. Still Sutherland. Magical footwork from the youngster, and Swan is able to angle the pass outside the 18-yard box. Sliding in Reece Pettit to knock it up the line to Reece Cooper, who's swerving his run, should get the free kick, and does. Thought that was fair enough.
Yeah, definitely. Free kicks there, but again, it's one of those things, doesn't matter tactically what your team to do, there seems to be a magnet that just draws your defence so deep, and that just draws on the attack from the opposition in situations like this. And the hard bit being, when everyone's back to defend these, there doesn't seem to be an out ball, so you just add pressure and more pressure.
So a sub just to take some time out of the clock, and it is Louis Townsend. Now they're making a change here at a defensive free kick. Oh, you don't want to tempt fate, do you?
Don't say things, Ben.
So Louis Townsend, another former Olympic player, heading out there for Maitland. Ryan Clark gets a round of applause from the crowd. So Townsend is in there. And the free kick is about to be on its way. Curled in. Powerful header. Well, Carl Thornton. Who else but Carl Thornton?
Don't switch off, hey! Don't switch off!
Whether it be when he was at Western back in the day or here at Maitland. He is imperious. Duncan, now Kawachi. And the Japanese import weaves some magic. Jared Sutherland, we know what he can do. What a turn in the box. Zach Thomas, the mighty man at the back for Maitland.
He's just got to hold it here.
And Joel Wood is rushing towards goal in a foot race with Kyle Hodges. It's a tight angle! And he dropped it just wide of the far post. That would have sealed it.
Well, that would have been a goal worthy of winning the game.
Well, that's the question, Liam. Do you take it towards the corner there, or do you try and score?
Look, I would like to think I would try and score, but if I'm a coach, I'm saying get in the corner and keep it there.
Time ticking away for Hamilton Olympic. Their third appearance in round 7 of the FFA Cup in 4 seasons. Is it about to be a third defeat? And Kyle Hodges has let the ball trickle out. A mistake, a rare mistake from the Olympic centre half. Not long to go now. Now Wood swerving his run around the outside, cutting back to the byline. Louis Townsend was waiting in the middle to finish it off and put the dagger in. Townsend through the legs of McGuinness. Grant Brown, well, he's played it straight. Over the far side to Shinichi Kawachi. Could that prove costly in stoppage time? McGuinness distributes wide to Jared Sutherland. Has he got something? Sutherland drops it in front of Reese Cooper. Corner kick, Hamilton Olympic. Reese Cooper trotting down. Normally it's been Scott Pettit on the set piece duties. This time Reese Cooper, closest man there. Rushes down to take it. He'll need his set piece boots on here. It was hard and low towards the near post. Duncan was there, and now Swan showing the speed of Gazelle.
He's away.
Rushing forward, he's got Grant Brown on the inside. Here's Grant Brown to seal it. He couldn't do so, because Tyler Warren with a wonderful save.
Look, corner at this point, it's almost as good as a goal, not quite, but we'll keep the ball down there. There'll certainly be no rush to take it. And that was some long bust and run, and he's sucking in the big ones now after running all of about 70 yards there.
What about the speed from Swan?
Unbelievable.
And Grant Brown, who hasn't scored in 2 years, almost had a goal which would have, well, if there was a roof here at Cook Square Park, would have ripped it off. The grandstand would have taken it off the new grandstand here at Cook Square Park. So standard practice at this point in time. Take it down to the corner and try and
win
waste
another
a bit
one.
of time. And well, he had ice skates on there, Joel Wood. Maitland fans wanting them to hang on to possession here. Grant Brown down towards the corner. There's no cross coming in. Louis Townsend waiting in the 18-yard box.
It's never getting to him, Ben.
He just wants the ball in there. He wants to seal the deal. But Maitland want to go through to the round of 32 for the first time. And is it going to be heartbreak for Hamilton again? I'll be wondering whether they'll ever get there. It's Tyler Warren to Duncan. Is there one final chance for the visitors? Onto the head of Thornton. And history is made in Maitland as the Magpies reach the round of 32 for the very first time. What a rise it has been for them. 5 years ago, they were in the second tier of Northern New South Wales football, and now they take their place in the top 32 clubs in the FFA Cup. Heartbreak for Hamilton. That's their third defeat in round 7. They fall at the final hurdle yet again. They will be wondering when, if ever, their time will come. Full time at Cook Square Park. Maitland Magpies 2, Hamilton Olympic 1. What a night of FFA Cup action.
Unbelievable, and I couldn't be happier for everyone here at Maitland. A fantastic effort, cracking game to watch on its own, let alone what was on the line. But Maitland are now about to get a taste of national stage football, the FFA Cup, and it's going to be a fantastic ride for everyone involved up here at Cook Square Park. Can't say they didn't deserve it. It was very close. You wouldn't have been upset if I had gone to extra time, but I think Maitland just edged it, and that class in the last half an hour just made the difference.
And wouldn't you love to see them get a home match in the round of 32 and play at Maitland Sports Ground and just pack it out? That
Absolutely.
Would be
bring us one of the big boys. Yep.
That would be a stunning night, because there has never been a Coalfields club make it through to the round of 32. No club from the Hunter region has done it. It's only been Charlestown, Edgeworth, Magic and Lambton.
Yep.
Now Maitland add their name to the list. Credit to them. And Liam, I think it's wonderful for football in northern New South Wales. Sad for Hamilton Olympic, obviously. They would have been a very worthy contender in the round of 32.
Absolutely.
But what a story Maitland is.
Fantastic, and it is good to get a bit of representation up here on the Coalfields, and getting to see Maitland get through. They will be absolutely stoked, and got a big ride ahead of them now. That's the question now. They start dreaming, who do you want? Do you want the big boys? Do you want the easiest draw? No, who knows?
And Matt Thompson, I'm just looking out there. Matt Thompson, he is out there celebrating with his fellow teammates, and he will most likely be back for the round of 32, which is so exciting for Maitland, because he just adds an extra dimension to them. So, wow, what a few weeks it's going to be ahead for the Magpies. As we said, second tier of Northern New South Wales football just 5 years ago, now in the top 32 clubs in the FFA Cup. Wow.
Let the dream begin, Ben. Let the dream begin.
Wow. All right, Liam, it's been an absolute pleasure. They're going to party long and hard, I think, the Pies. The Party Pies, they're going to be partying tonight. And that will do us for tonight. Thanks so much, Liam, for your company tonight. Reminder,
anytime.
Tomorrow night, Valentine, playing against Edgeworth, 7:30, Lake Macquarie Regional Football Facility.
Absolutely, get down, and if you can't get down, tune in.
Make sure, yes, tune in on Bar TV. Quentin will be there to bring you all the action. Looking forward to it tomorrow night. All right, pleasure to have your company tonight. Until next time, full time here at Cook Square Park. It was Maitland 2, Hamilton 1. They're through to the round of 32 for the very first time.